Kirk, the wife of Charlie Kirk, who's recently been widowed. I'm gonna let people come up and I'm gonna let people start coming up. A lot of people are pointing out some things about Erica, and a lot of people are saying that the situation with Erica is actually kind of funny style a little bit. A lot of people kind of saying that Erica, now we all understand, and she's grieving, and people grieve differently. People respond differently, and I'm not going to take that away from anybody. I'm just letting you guys know what the community is, alleging. They're bringing up that she was involved in a beauty pageant, and the beauty pageant was tied to Trump. So she's had ties to Trump way before Charlie Kirk. She was tied to Trump for quite a minute, for quite a bit. And, after the situation happened, it's kind of, a lot of people are kind of looking at her responses to the situation as a little odd. Okay, I'm not saying I'm saying that, but a lot of people saying that it was a little odd that, she just kind of bounced back real quick, like this was a distant relative of hers or something like that, or a grandma that she expected that was gonna leave. You know what I'm saying? It seemed as if like she's back on business now. She's running Turning Point USA. A lot of people kind of questioning that, like, did Charlie Kirk didn't he have like another CEO or vice president or anything like that? Now, I get the wife would inherit the business, but now she's running it her way, and it seems like that damn recovery process was real quick, and she ready to step right back into business. A lot of people bringing up clips about her crying. A lot of people saying that looked kind of forced, maybe. A lot of people saying that they didn't really see no tears, and she kind of been. Now, this is not to bully nobody. I'm not trying to spread no rumors or allegations. I'm just trying to say that this is what the community's kind of saying. No, I'm asking questions. A lot of people, here come the Kirk fans. Like, leave them alone, man. Don't talk
Okay,
about
so
them
me,
like that. But hey,
so me
I'm just asking a question, and I'm gonna bring
I am
people
a
up too.
widow. I'm a widow myself. So when that happened to me and I lost my my spouse, I'm sorry. I could barely even speak to anyone. I didn't even come out my room for days. I lost a whole bunch of weight. I didn't even want to hold conversations. I mean, for her to be, that's why I was like, how can she even hold conversations like this at this time? Why is she's in the limelight? Like, I was more so in the, like, out, like, a lot of times this happened to people I see, like celebrities, and you can tell when it really affects them because they don't even speak on it like that. They'll say a little few and they'll go back into hiding. But for some strange reason, I feel like she eating this up. I feel like this the best thing that ever happened to her when CK got unalive, because now she has a lot of clout because nobody knew who she was. Let's be for real here. We didn't know who this woman was. She was in the face of nothing. If she was in a beauty pageant, we sure didn't know what kind of beauty pageant she was in because we never really heard of her. We didn't. But now all of a sudden she got this little clout. She's eating it up.
Oh yeah. She doing
She's eating
interviews
it
and
up.
all of that stuff. I'm all like, if
You
this
might have
happened to
to.
me, I wouldn't be doing no interviews. I mean, she did a press conference right after. Why
Yeah.
are you doing a press conference? And then the memorial was kind of a little like performative. I've never seen fireworks at a memorial. I didn't know what this was, a memorial or inauguration. I didn't. It kind of gave more inauguration energy than a memorial energy, personally.
You got to
Oh
move
yeah. And
that
then
circle
she
up,
said she
Afro.
forgave.
The comments are
She
over
said
your
Okay,
face.
hold on. Yeah, let me
Yep.
change
Okay.
this font.
And listen, Afro, she said she forgave the man that did this to him. The young man. She made sure to put young man at the end of that. And me personally, and that just happened, girl. Your man just got off it yesterday. And you up here talking about something you forgive. Baby, look, I still ain't forgave the man that did it to my man. But girl, it just sounds so suspect to me. Like, girl, I think you're happy that this happened because now you can live the dream that you always wanted to live, and you're eating off of it like it ain't nothing. And to me personally, this woman, the fake tears, the snifflings. I see no tear coming out. Your makeup's still intact. You look like, you look like you got fresh for the camera. Like, you don't give a grieving widow. You give a fake, a fraud, and a snake. That's what you give.
We'll have Black Vanguard. You got it, and then we'll have CB.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? So yeah, I'm still out the country right now. I'm in Japan still though, but shout out to the revolutionary sister warrior Sasha Kaur. She's actually made it with her ancestors the most high. I got the most respect for her because I knew some of her family members. We actually advocated get Matul Shakur and all the other political prisoners about jail though. So shout out to the revolutionary sister Sasha Kaur for contributing to the struggle to our ancestors though. Now I'm gonna bring her to Erica Kirk. She's nothing but faking because if she was really real, she wouldn't be on camera like that day before her so-called husband got unalived though. So that's basically fake and phony though. That's not. I don't think that this was actually planned. I believe she might have set them up because that's very odd and strange though. Your husband just passed away and got unalive, and then you doing a press conference. Something ain't right with that story though. Let you know she might have been planning on taking over that Turning Point USA organization, but something definitely fishy going behind the scenes.
Mm. Yeah, a lot of people kind of alluding to that. I'm not saying anything for sure. I'm not trying to spread any misinformation. I'm just asking the question to see where the community stands, what the community thinks about the situation. All right. CB Dot, you can go ahead.
Thank you so much for that. I am 39 years old. I'm a Black American.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when I look at this situation, I see a lot of performing. I see political theater. I see her being well coached in what is happening right now. And, I lost my brother and my father 9 days apart. So I don't like to tell people how to grieve, but I can also say from experience when losing someone that close to you, it's very hard to just put clothes on and go to a viewing and face the people that are coming to honor your loved ones. It's very hard to, um, take the phone calls to explain how you feel. It's very hard to tell someone every single day that you're okay. I mean, I got to the point where like I wouldn't take phone calls no more because I wasn't okay, and I felt like I was lying to people. But my biggest thing for her is when she stood a couple of days after his passing, and someone coached her how to be right. She's got a face full of makeup. She's on this podium. They got the background, and she's by herself. And she said they are responsible for this. They, pointing the finger out. But then when we get to his memorial or whatever that theatrical situation was with all the politicians that were involved, she somehow could muster up the strength to say, "I forgive him." But at no point in time did she ever condemn the violence that was happening at HBCUs. At no
Mm.
point in time did she ever condemn them pointing the finger out to the left. There was one person that they say is responsible for this. Now, I don't necessarily know whether he was or he wasn't, and I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole because I don't necessarily trust the government. But instead of trying to lower the temperature in the country, she continued to fuel the flames. You can find the strength and to forgive the person that they say unalived your husband, but you can't find the words to say, let's not point this at HBCUs. Let's not hold Black people accountable for what this person's action is. And as a Black person inside of this community, I look at her crazy for that because we had nothing to do with this whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
now we've been met with violence.
Yeah. That's a good point. The main person who could have been lowering the temperature, telling everybody to stand down, that she doesn't want to see violence or whatever the case is. The whole they did this to him, that's kind of like inciting violence almost. Really, it can be perceived that way. And she never took that back. She, even after violent incidences popped off, she hasn't taken that back. Kind of suspect. I'm just gonna be honest. It's just odd. It's odd. I'm not saying she did it or didn't do it. Of course not. I'm just saying that this is just unusual behavior. This is kind of unusual.
And she and I'm gonna land my plane. She really was forcing. dry eyes. Like she was trying to force her dry eyes to show a tear, and I didn't see it. I didn't see genuine grief with her.
Hmm. It would be one thing if it was like a state of shock or disbelief, because I've been around people who've passed away, and some people are just like in a state of shock where they almost have no emotional expression at all. There's different levels of emotion when that happens. But no time have I ever been around anybody who faked an emotion. I've never been around anybody who was faking a cry when a loved one passed. I've never been around anybody who's done that before, who's pretended as if they were crying and there's no tears. I've never been around anybody who's genuinely grieving, but they're pretending to cry. You know, I've just never seen that. I've never seen that. But you know, we're just asking questions. We're not alluding to anything or making any accusations. We're just asking. Let's get to Karama. Uh,
Karima.
Karima. Okay, not my fault. And you got it. Well, where are you from?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. From Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, your lineage is FBA, right or no?
Yes, I'm a Black American. Yes.
All right. Okay.
Um, so Erica Kirk, I think is very much like the people said before me. I think it's very obvious that she doesn't have any like real sadness about her husband's death. I do not think it's far fetched to assume allegedly that she could have been a part of it as well. I think in general, I think even in terms of who they know, the shooter, the parents of the shooter
You
was
say
I'm
you say the
sorry.
TikTok. Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. I love TikTok and you have a great live, and I do apologize for using that language. Um, I do think that the Pew Pewer, well, we do know that the Pew Pewers family was MAGA, and in general, if you guys ever read Project 2025 or even read some of the darker things of like Peter Thiel and some of the tech bros, they have a really sinister agenda. They have a really sinister agenda. They do not like old school Republicans used to say like we want a small government, but they weren't saying that they didn't want any government. This new school MAGA Republicans, even the ones, I don't even think a lot of the actual MAGA Republicans who voted understand what the people that they voted for desire, because what they desire is a government so small that it's not even a government. And I do feel like everything that we're seeing is our president trying to dismantle everything, like literally ruin everything, because they then want for the tech bros who they believe are smarter than everyone to own every part of industry. Every part of industry. They, in their text, they literally say that they need the majority of the population to go to the upper room. They need that for their agenda. They have no, mind you, they're dismantling the Department of Education. They literally have made it illegal for the CDC to tell about certain threats as it relates to health and harm. Their goal, they believe that they themselves are smart enough and they should rule every part of industry. And every move that they're making is a step, big and small, towards that ultimate goal. It is beyond race, it is beyond gender, it is beyond class. It is literally we, few tech bros, are smarter than everyone else, and we should control the means of production for everyone else because everyone else is too stupid. They literally have said that they desire a TikTok language, a class of people that don't get paid for their labor. They literally say that that is a better way to go about things. And I just feel like I don't think most Americans are aware of how demented and demonic their thought process goes. These people are literally um these people are literally trying to figure out ways, very anti-God, are trying to figure out ways to be immortal because they have more than a God complex. It is bigger than a God complex, but they definitely feel like they are the deciders. They don't want anything in the way of them deciding. And they have no compassion or empathy for most people, not white people making $100,000. And I feel like one of the things that Americans should be very aware of is um, um, during all those protests, when it was like all those protests for Mike Brown and Sandra Bland and George Floyd, and people were out on the streets. I went to an anti-fascist, what they call that, first and short and the first and the last of it, but meeting, and it was all YT people, and I was like the only Black American person in the meeting. And what I told them was, you are worried about fascism now. However, the Black community has dealt with fascism the entire time, disenfranchisement the entire time. And you will see it will start to seep into the rest of society. And when it starts to seep into the rest of society, we are pretty far gone. I always maintain hope. But we, at this point, are seeing YT people dealing with some of the same disenfranchisement that they have traditionally been shielded from, because ultimately the people who are in office right now and the people who pay them, like I said, they want complete and utter control. And they do not care who has to be unalived for it to happen. And and I'm about to land, but my last point is, as it relates to Mr. Charlie Charles Kurt, as it relates to him, even though he was a horrible person, he, like every broken clock, was right a few times. And one of the things he was right about was, why is America giving so much money to is the rest of the word? I don't know what TikTok language is, but like, y'all know the country I'm talking about. One of the things that he was like, why are they giving so much money to them? And just historically, that country and America have been horrible bedfellows. And so much of what they do together is to disenfranchise the rest of the world. And I land my plane, and I'm sorry if I talk too much.
Could have been. It could have been. Let's be honest. There was a clip where Charlie had his wife on as a guest, and Charlie said that his wife is way more quote unquote conservative than he is. Y'all can look that up. Charlie said Charlie said his wife is way more quote unquote conservative. And y'all know what he mean when he say conservative. So could it be that his wife wanted to take things in a more extreme direct? I'm just asking. Could it be that his wife wanted to take things in a different direction, or maybe Charlie was moving a way she didn't like, possibly? Could it be that he wanted to go in a different direction with Turning Point USA? Or, you know, just asking the questions. We don't know, because I'm just asking what other people are asking. I'm not making any assumptions. All right, not making none. I'm just stating what people are saying. I'm asking. Okay, let's get to strive to be holy.
Oh yes. My name is Kari. I'm Black American. First off, I want to say I like your content, man. I don't know too much about FBA, but I'm just like getting new to this stuff. I'm new. But I feel like with his wife or whatever, I feel like it wasn't genuine, man. I felt like they did the killing.
You
So,
gotta say like unalive and stuff.
oh, my bad. Yeah, I don't know the TikTok language. My bad. But I feel like they did the unalive so they can use it as a distraction to try to put blame on black people instead of putting the real focus on the white community, you know? So that's all I want to say, but I don't know too much about it, but I like your content, by the way, man. That's all I want to say.
Appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. It's a lot of this. A lot of this stuff is iffy. A lot of this stuff is iffy. That's a good point. I don't want TikTok to shut us down. We're not spreading any false information. We're just asking questions and giving our opinions of how we see things as of right now. So let's now get to Ziva or Ziva.
Hiya. Hi. I
How you
hope
doing?
everyone is having a lovely day and evening. For me, it's almost morning, so I'm from London. And hi to everyone. Well, on this topic, he rest in peace. I do disagree with him, everything that he stands and believes when it comes to it as a personal, but he's dead, so God might be with him and have mercy in his soul. He had a really point of view that I do disagree with him. And his wife is another topic. I lost a sister younger than me a few months ago. And I will never, as a human being, put in a video thing while I'm in her funeral. Never. Everything that she did seemed to be acting for a Hollywood. So that is another thing. Maybe it's an American thing. I don't know. Most of American people are more religious people. I'm not saying, but still. But as a human being, my God would be with him. My sister.
Okay. Yeah, and may God be with George Floyd too.
Absolutely, yes.
And thank you for that. Okay, because you keep saying you disagree. Now you disagree with stuff Charlie Kirk is saying, but you giving a lot of little sympathy and stuff. Like you giving more sympathy than
I don't give him sympathy. I don't give him any sympathy. He does not deserve. He does not respect my people as a black woman. He does not believe any sympathy of any human being whatsoever. So there you go.
I have a
I'm
question.
gonna be honest with you. I try
get
to
what
listen
she's
to you.
saying.
I'm not being disrespectful or disingenuous, but I'm not sure where you stand on this.
I do not like him. I have no sympathy for him whatsoever.
I mean, when you say yeah, but God be with somebody, that's like.
I mean, God creates our soul. My God with his soul. I do not have any sympathy for him. I am not sorry he's dead. He might be dead. We lost a lot of good people. Good riddance.
I got a question. So you said you're from London, but where were you before your family migrated to London?
Ooh, yes. Thank you for asking. I'm from East London, and I am also from East Africa. I was born in East Africa.
When you say East, exactly what country?
I'm from Somalia. I was born in Somalia. I grew up in London. I barely remember in East Africa that much, but I'm from East London.
Thank you. She said Somalia.
Well, all right then. Thank you. We're gonna get to some of the other speakers. Thank you for that.
Okay, can I speak?
Go ahead.
I'm from America, but originally from Somalia. It's a lot of Somalis in America. Not a lot, but we're here. Finally made it.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I think what we're fighting it's morals. We're fighting morals, and all these influencers are kind of guiding us to what path. You know what I'm saying? We're distracted. The youth, like everybody right now, we don't have at the youth. We are just looking. Our role models are sports players, LeBron James, Jay-Z, athletes. Even when what do you call the Democrats, an election comes, who do they attract? Hey, let's bring Jay-Z. Let him speak for the black community, you know? I've noticed that. I'm not trying to be off topic, but I kind of feel like this guy that passed away, he hasn't done nothing for the black community. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't said anything for us. So we're giving him like I don't know. I just feel like he was more for his base, conservative base, and I feel like us African Americans or minorities in general, we're grouped into like a box. You know, like
You
let's
said
say
us
when the
African Americans.
huh?
Wait.
You said us African Americans.
African Americans, whether you are Somali, whether you're from
Oh,
Africa, when you're in
I,
America, you're automatically an African American.
no,
Oh boy.
wrong. Go
Wait,
on mute so I can.
finish.
No,
Let me
I'm not
finish
gonna
my.
argue with you. I'm not gonna argue with you,
I'm not
right?
arguing with
Hold
you. I'm
on. I
talking.
need you to mute because I need you to hear this. I need you to hear this, and I
Let me
need you to.
finish. Let me finish my train of thought.
No,
Okay,
because we
hold
got to
on,
stop
hold
the
on.
misinformation where it starts, right? You could never be an African American technically because we are a reclassified people. That is our reclassification. So if you do not have ancestors who were in the United States and descend from U.S. chattel slavery emancipation era of 1863 through 1865 and found on the 1870 census, you are not an African American or a Black American. You are Somali American. And the upcoming
Okay.
2030 census will reflect that. You actually have to pick Somalia.
Okay.
Somali.
Okay,
Let me
sis.
finish.
Wait,
Let me
wait,
finish.
you're in
Okay,
London.
Let
okay.
me
You're in
finish.
London. You're in
Y'all not gonna
London.
do that.
This
Hey,
don't
hey,
affect
hey,
you.
hey. We
I
ain't
Ziva.
doing
understand.
that.
I understand.
Ziva, this doesn't affect you. He's here. Black
Let me just
Ryan is
finish my
here.
talk, my
No,
train of
no,
thought.
no,
Then
because I need you to get this, sir. Black Americans / African Americans are facing an ethnocide. And what you're doing is contributing to that when you identify as our ethnic group. You can't come here and migrate into our ethnic group. So our activists, stay on mute until I land. I'm going to wrap it up. Our activists have rallied for years to get y'all out of our box, and we're finally seeing that coming to fruition. For future reference, especially when you come to this panel, you won't get so much pushback if you say what you really are, Somali American. And there's nothing wrong with it. But you're
Okay.
not African American. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, okay. 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 My brother, please, please, please. Let me just
I
ask you
can't even
one
finish
No, no,
my.
okay,
one
no,
question.
no, no, no,
One
no, no, no,
question.
no, no, no,
One
guys, stop
question.
it! Don't make me have to drop y'all. Come on, because there's people who haven't
Okay.
spoken yet and are
Okay.
being patient.
One question. That's it.
No,
I'm going
no,
to
well,
on
My
he's
train
mute.
of
gonna,
thought.
no, you
Okay.
spoke.
I'm gonna go on mute. I'm gonna go on mute. One
Okay,
question.
no, no,
After
no,
that,
no. One question. He's gonna finish his statement and then we're gonna move on.
okay. But my sister said we should claim some.
No, no, it was very clear. You're not. You're from London. You're from London. So what
Okay,
do
I'm
you?
British.
Come on
Okay,
now.
I'm out of it. Okay. Okay, I'm
All
going on.
right. Now finish your statement. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been listening and I want to respond to what you have to say. But to be honest with you, what you're saying is very off subject.
Okay, I
Hey,
understand.
let
And
me.
Ma'am, I am not talking to you.
I
I'm
do
talking to
respect. Please, my brother. Well, okay, please, please. I do respect that. With
sister.
all due
Sister,
respect, we can
you
always
had your stop it. You had
no.
your chance to
We
speak.
can always
Okay.
agree to. We can.
No, you had your chance to speak. Stop doing
You
that.
didn't even let me finish. Come on.
No, because it's not your okay. It's not your turn to speak. That's why I ain't letting you finish. Okay.
All right. Can I just say something?
No, you okay. Subhanallah. I can't believe this.
Okay.
Give her my
All
time.
right.
Let her speak.
Go
Give her.
ahead. Black Lion, go ahead.
All right, boss. All right, boss. Listen, before I came in, I said I was Somali, but obviously I grew up here my whole life. So whatever, African, Somali, whatever you want to classify me as, I don't care. Okay. But my point
Not
is,
whatever. This be the issue,
see,
Afro.
exactly. I
Hold
can't
on.
even
I'm
talk.
talking to the host. If you don't know, I'm having my and I'm gonna air my grievance. This be the issue. It's the whatever for me. They're not affected by the way they identify. They only benefit. We're affected by it. That means I've wasted my time trying to get his comprehension level up to a place that he could educate himself when he does his independent research and also educate his people. Because I'm not in Somalia land. Like they taking over Minnesota. I'm not there. And he could at least go back and tell his people, look, this is what Black Americans are saying,
So
and this
Minnesota is
is what
yours?
I
You own
found.
Minnesota?
So
What
it's
are you
not
saying?
whatever for us, sir.
So do you
This
own
is our
Minnesota? Why
lives.
are you making it seem you own Minnesota when you say you come to Minnesota?
Dude, first off, we're gonna move
You said
on.
I finally
I'm gonna
made
be
it to
honest. We're gonna
America. We
move on
finally
because
made it.
we're trying to have a conversation about this subject.
I have a
Your
Right.
question for the mod.
your stance has not really touched the subject, and you admit it. You like, I don't want to be too off topic, and then you went off topic,
I was
and your
coming to it
stance
right
is
now.
not
I
even
was
about
coming
the
It's
to it
a
right
subject.
now.
whatever for me. That's
I'm
a lack
Okay.
of
and
respect,
I
sir.
was coming to it, but
we just tried
every
to
time I
hold,
speak,
dude.
I'm
Don't
interrupted.
overtalk the host. We just tried to correct you about the statement that we're all African American because that is incorrect. And then now we're trying to get back to the subject. We're trying to get back on track. All
I
right.
have a question for the mod,
I'm gonna get back on
relating what
topic.
she
Thank
just
you.
said.
So my stance is this individual that passed away has nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with the blackness. Has nothing to do with us in general. He doesn't. Whatever happened to him, God rest his soul. It has nothing to do with me whatsoever. That's my stance. Thank you.
Well, he actually spread a lot of anti-black information and anti-black rhetoric. Okay, and the response to this has been threats to HBCUs. You've had invaders in the last few or last couple days or so going to HBCUs illegally, trying to antagonize and harass the students there. So it, even though we weren't involved in his situation and what happened to him, the backlash is coming down towards us, where now you're having teachers being fired, you're having people losing their jobs and scholarships, and schools, being expelled from school and things of the sort, based off of their anger at us, even though we weren't involved. So we should pay
No, but you have
attention.
to
I
understand the
get what you're
Constitution.
saying,
He
that
using
this is,
freedom of speech. Yeah, that's his right. He has his right to speak. The Constitution says freedom of speech, unless he antagonizes violence towards ethnicity or saying that. Then, but you have to understand the Constitution says freedom of speech. He has that right,
that doesn't
unless
mean
in
freedom of
right.
speech. Freedom of speech doesn't mean it's not problematic.
So you're saying there's video of him saying we're gonna go attack African Americans? Is that what
No,
you're saying?
he doesn't
He
have to
literally has
explicitly
video.
say. He doesn't have to explicitly state that. Okay, but his videos and his rhetoric, and not only him. We got to be honest, because Charlie ran Turning Point USA. So Charlie is responsible for everything that comes out of Turning Point USA, not just the things he said personally, but all of the things that were echoed from people who were sponsored by Turning Point USA and who came up from Turning Point USA. Charlie is responsible for all of that. And a lot of that anti-black rhetoric normalized denigrating the community and vilified us and put a target on the backs of black people. So he doesn't
I think that's the
explicitly have to say
left's
go after
propaganda.
them.
I feel like that's the left's propaganda to get votes for
No, no,
them.
this is not
That's what
about
it
the
is.
left or the
It's a
no,
bigger
no,
picture,
it's
brother.
not. No, brother, it's
Here's
not.
the issue,
Okay, because
Afro.
you now, I saw where you were trying to go. Now you're trying to sit up there and talk about this is the left's propaganda. When somebody says that black people were better with less rights and black people were better under slavery, how is that the left's propaganda? It came out of his own mouth. This is what he said, that black people are better with less rights. And black people are not as genetically intelligent
What
as
I'm
his
saying
people.
is, does his words have actions? Does him saying that
Yes,
does that
yes.
no,
And see, this is
brother?
the
Yes.
problem
But
with
what
y'all.
I'm
Be quiet.
saying is,
Hold on, be
okay,
quiet, dude. This is the problem with y'all. When foreigners come over here and y'all don't have the same history we have in this country, it's easy for y'all to overlook things. It's easy for y'all to dismiss this stuff. This is why we arguing with y'all, because you guys are trying to downplay the effects of this stuff. We who come from the lineage of this country, we understand that the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk spewed is very dangerous. Just like with the Jim Crow laws, all of that stuff started off with propaganda, rhetoric, postcards. That stuff started off that way, and it led to detrimental consequences of a community.
Brother, this is 2025. We can't
No,
go back on
and
history and
it
act like the
repeats itself.
victim.
It's
I'm not a victim. I
2025.
came here.
Stop it, dude. Stop. It's 2025, and you still have people committing domestic terrorist acts against black people. You still have that.
Who?
Dylan Roof, Peyton Gendron, Ryan Palmetto.
Those are individuals. It's like
Rittenhouse.
saying every time.
Okay, I need you to stay on mute for 1 minute. He doesn't have the connection or the history ties to this land, so he's never going to get it because our country liberated him, right? He doesn't have to deal with whatever condition is going on there in Somalia. But what we are going through, because we don't run from our country, we descend from those who stayed, we're different. We're going to view things from a different lens. And that's why we don't want you identifying as us. We don't want them even speaking in political positions about us. They'll never get it. Never get it. You are looking at the descendants from the United States chattel slavery era. There are still laws in New York that descends from slavery because we revoked it here. There's laws like that in the South too. Like y'all are not affected by it because you never had to drop blood here. Never. Y'all, when y'all say y'all work hard, y'all don't work hard. Y'all don't. Y'all turn on a light bulb that was improved by our ancestors. And y'all study. That's not working as hard as we gotta work. And now we gotta fight them to get them to see they shouldn't be speaking on certain things or identifying as us because they making a mess of everything. They'll never get it. Never.
And this conversation, hold on, dude, because we got to move on. This conversation only highlights that because the fact that we're sitting up here arguing and what you're doing is soft shoe defending Charlie. You're soft shoe defending him by dismissing or belittling and downplaying his effects. Okay? You're trying to make it seem like, well, unless he directly called for violence, then it is just quote unquote free speech. And that dismisses and it downplays, it waters down all of the harmful rhetoric that led to actual people being unalived. His rhetoric and things of his rhetoric radicalizes people who go out and do harm. So while you're sitting up there saying it's First Amendment and it's just the left that is making it seem like we're overreacting by you trying to state that we're overreacting, is you downplaying and watering down the damage that he's done and the harm that he was doing. And Turning Point USA, because I'm not separating the two.
Can I also say when people talk about this,
what has Barack Obama done for the black community?
No, we're
why
not
you bring
talking
up
about Barack
Riaz,
Obama.
what is wrong
We're
with
not
you?
talking about see this. We're not talking about Barack Obama. This has absolutely nothing to do with Barack Obama, and this is not me being a fan of Barack Obama.
can I just make one point, just a real quick point? Well, let me just make one point too. He's going to sit up here and talk about free speech. Meanwhile, people have literally lost their jobs for repeating the things that Charlie Kirk said. Jimmy Kimmel got kicked off the air, even though he got reinstated for criticizing Charlie Kirk. So how come we are concerned about free speech as it relates to Charlie Kirk, but we not concerned about free speech as it relates to people who are literally losing their jobs and having their lives messed up because they just say, I'm not sad about his death, or the reason I don't honor him is because what he said, and these are the things. So I think that's such a disingenuous. Let me go ahead and follow the mod too, because girl, what you was saying is so true. And when I don't want to cut nobody off because I said you was about to say something, but I do have a question for you. I do have a question for you as it relates to FBAs and the census, and I just want to get your opinion.
Real quick, yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll move on to the next speaker.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for taking the question. The question is, so, and my family, like probably your family, has been here since that census. Very Black American. What I'm wondering is, would it not make more sense for us to be wanting to be identified as just American? because like even on the census, I know that they say the census is to help with whatever, but I feel like when they know that we fill out the census and we say we're Black American, it seems that we always get the short end of the stick. And it feels like because we are actually American, and I'm proud to be Black, I am proud to be Black. But it seems like at this point, I should just be able to be American on the census, and my Somalian brother down there should have to put some other type of American. Anybody else should put other type of
So you're
American.
black.
So
I'm
I
not
just want,
black. What does
and no,
black mean?
I'm just asking a question.
What does
I'm just
black
asking a
mean?
question. How does it
Okay,
benefit
that's
us
enough from
to?
you. That's enough from you.
Yeah, how does it? I just and I'm asking this not in a disrespectful way, just because I think that you're smart and I want to hear your perception of it. How does it help us to be labeled as Black American when we see that they hate us for that Black part of American, when we are more American than most white people who are even here? Our families have been here for longer than most even white families. So I'm just curious how you feel about that.
Well,
Well, there's a pocket of us who identify as American Indian, and some are pushing to be identified as original American. They're standing on their indigenous roots. Me personally, foundational Black American suits me. It suits my ancestors because we are amalgamated, right? So I do acknowledge that the slave trade happened, but I also acknowledge there was an ethnogenesis and that we interbred with like the indigenous, and we know how the pesky Europeans got in my DNA, right? So for me, I'm just making a resistance to my government and to other people, and making a distinction that I descend from those who were here during the enslavement era. How you want to identify is technically on you, but I can tell you somebody who I consider a mentor has canvassed about 25,000, I believe, and he secured his lobbyist group secured Black American Negro descendant of freedmen. So we're staying true to what we can prove off of documentation and what our ancestors were reclassified as. How you choose to identify you and your family, although we're one big lineage, our specific genealogy is specific to us and our family. So for me, I researched my Alabama ancestors. They went from Creole to mulatto to Negro to Black. My North Carolina ancestors were colored, Negro, and Black. See how that works? So I'm just staying true to my reclassification, and I believe in Black, and Black is bold, Black is beautiful, Black is power, Black liberation. So I identify as a foundational Black American, and I embrace the word Black. But how you identify is up to you. You're still going to be my people at the end of the day, because we are still here. We're disenfranchised the same because we do have ancestors who could have been on the same plantations or in the same area, because even our free people, right, didn't have it easy, even if they were technically free during a certain period of time. So you got to decide what's right for you and your family at this point. But that's why I embrace foundational Black American. It makes a distinction. Like, I don't believe in conforming to the immigrants who migrated here when we built this country.
No,
yeah.
I thank you for
Well,
your answer. Thank
You're
you for your
welcome.
answer. And I definitely see that. And the main thing I just wanted to understand is ultimately, like, I just feel like it harms us sometimes, because like I feel like we could make it harder for them if we were just American, because they see an all Black FBA community and then they resource it a particular way. But if they just saw American, it might be harder for them to be like, we're going to
That
underfund this or that,
Okay,
They're
and
calling
let me
themselves New
add this because
Americans. Go ahead. Go
we
ahead,
might be
Angela.
able
I'm sorry.
to.
They're calling themselves New Americans now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna move. We're gonna have to move on. But yeah, we'll have a conversation about that. But the thing is that that's gonna be that still is not really clear. It's not concise. That can be, you know what I'm saying? Because America is not an ethnic group. It's a nation. So that's a nationality. So to be technical about the situation, there's a lot of other people who are American. And if we say, okay, well, we're just going to say American, and then everybody else is going to add another something to it. If somebody says, okay, what's your ethnic group, and you say American, that's kind of like, that's still vague. you know, and it still allows a lot of cosplaying to come in. Unlike when we
Yeah.
say like FBA, that doesn't it seals things. It makes it very clear who we are as a lineage. If we say American, that's very vague to who we are as a lineage. So we're trying to be very specific about who we are as a lineage, you know. But I like BX says, I mean, people identify how they feel. But we're gonna move on. Yeah, you can talk, but hold on, man. You're gonna have to wait, man. You can talk. Go on. Hold on. There's a couple other people I want to get to. Hey, Zizi, how you doing?
Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good.
Sorry for the tardiness. I did not see you sit. I was on my other account. I did not see the notifications. Amir was like, why the hell you not on live? I was like, he ain't sent it to me yet. He's not on. She said, nigga, he's been on for like 5 minutes. I said, wow, so sorry. So my bad. I literally just didn't see you. I was logged into my other account. My bad.
You got multiple accounts. You got 2 phones.
I do. Sorry.
Hi, Zizi.
Well,
Hey, BX.
we're having a conversation just about Erica Kirk kind of acting a little, you know,
Little sus.
uncommon. Yeah, a little uncommon to her husband passing away so tragically, so suddenly. With her having 2 kids, she's acting, you know, kind of cool about the situation.
Yeah.
Ready to get back to business. People suspicious.
She ain't seem too distraught at that memorial.
Right, she low-key wanted to smile. She wanted to low-key laugh, in my opinion. I
Low-key.
was
Looked like she wanted to bask in the
yeah.
ambience, the energy.
Yeah.
Hey, I wasn't feeling that. And then she was hugged up on Trump. It was a bad look. I'm sorry. This for your first instinct. I mean, I get the whole Christian narrative to, you know, forgive thy neighbor, whatever the hell. I get it. But for that to be your first, you know, initial thoughts or initial speech, you know, right after your husband died, that's not something I personally would have done. I don't think anybody was concerned about you forgiving the killer of the pewer of your husband. I don't think that was really a priority for most. So yeah, I mean, I don't know, it was just weird. The whole thing kind of just, I mean, it looked like something straight off the Simpsons or a Family Guy episode, Boondocks. The whole production of it was so grand. So yeah, I don't trust her. And then I don't know if you've seen that, but it's a lot of stuff coming out about her. You know, she used to do like pageants for Trump.
Said that earlier. Yeah, we said she'd been knowing Trump for a while.
Yeah,
before she knew Charlie. So, you know, that hug was kind of like familiar almost.
I mean, like a daddy's home type hug. I don't know. I don't know.
Back to business, okay.
Real.
They kind of riding the wave a little bit. This is, you know, we're just asking questions. We're not alleging anything, but we are asking questions about it.
You know, suspicious activities.
I would like for MAGA or somebody to explain how she, at 17, was over there.
You're going to have to speak up.
Your mic is far.
Is it really?
There we go. Now it's good.
Oh, sorry. What about the fact that she was over in Romania, like at 17, and they kicked her out of the country because all them kids is coming up missing?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
She got some suspect things. She started some type of Christian missionary thing when she was 17 years old, and then went to Romania, and then all of a sudden a whole bunch of kids start just disappearing.
I never trust white Christians to do mission groups.
Right.
I don't trust missionaries. That's crazy.
That's crazy. They literally kicked her out of their country.
Wow. And she went from that to pageants for Trump?
If it looks like it does,
she won the pageant first.
I think she was in the pageant before.
Yeah, she was in the pageant before.
Romania thing. She was in the pageant before.
Okay. Then she went to allegedly ex-trafficking kids or doing something to children that we don't know. Some suspicious behavior.
I don't know how you can allege that. If they kick you out, like, look, there's too many kids missing on your account of this Christian ministry you got going on. You gotta go.
Yeah.
So she was like, I gotta go.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Ron. I just want to introduce myself to our group. I've been listening to you guys talk about this issue with Mrs. Kirk or whatever her name is. I was really concerned about how she fell right into Charlie Kirk's position. As soon as he died, she tried to play his position and keep these people hyped up with all this violence they get brewing up underneath them, and they seem to want to just go after us. And it seemed like she was playing right along into that character.
It's so interesting because you wouldn't think, honest. I mean, it's his wife, kinda, but you think that for somebody to take second place, whatever, if she was the runner up, if she was the successor, you think that we would know of her more than this. You think that she would be going to campuses with Charlie and she would be giving different quote unquote debates and all of that stuff. But she was just the housewife in the background, and then now all of a sudden she's the queen of an empire. You know, like it's a little odd. That transition is a little odd. And the fact that she's not even why is she even accepting that? Let's be honest. Like, does she think that she can run it like that unless she thinks she can run it better?
She's probably being supported by the groups. She probably found a location or a spot where she can make more money off the whole scenario. So she's going to be supported by groups that's been funding him because people are going to be more sympathetic her situation.
Of course. I mean,
she wasn't as sympathetic her situation as everybody else was.
Yep.
You know, she literally threatened every other culture on national TV. That was a threat she made when she made that little statement she did on TV. I took that as a threat. I don't know about anybody else. When she said, for the people who did this to Charlie Kirk, you don't know what you have unleashed or whatever, and she's gonna make sure it's a real targeted, pointed statement that she made, and we don't have to play dumb in today's world to get or try and figure out who she was talking about. You know, I'm just telling my people, you know, like, right? I'm telling my people, like, you know, if you got white friends or you got white relatives, you know, you better check their file, man, because I don't know what to say, you know. But I know I've been told by my brothers that's a little bit more religious than me is to not trust your enemies because it's your fault. If you fall victim to this situation, you can't blame nobody else because you've been warned. And history has warned you. You know, we have, as black people, we have every example in the world to not be getting along with these people, not conversate with these people, not want to live with these people. Like, we kind of look a little ridiculous at the fact that we're still trying to live in a peaceful society with these people. And that's just on a historical fact.
It's just a non-regular, because you got the regular white tees and you got the non-regular white tees. Some regular white tees, they don't want to cause. I'm sorry.
You kind of muted, but hold on. Let's get you. Hold on. Let's let Uncle Steezy. He hasn't said anything. He's been up here for a minute.
All right.
What's good, Afro Elite? I absolutely appreciate all that you've done and have been continuing to do for us, for the FBA, for the freedmen, Black Americans and such. What's happening, ZZ? What's good, BX? All right. So one thing about this situation is that we ultimately cannot deny that we are at WAR and it is escalating. We also can't deny that because we've been calling upon a lot of our ancestors from this land, not from outside of this land, we're getting a lot more results on a spiritual level as well. But one thing also that we need to practice as a people is that we need to think outside of our comfortable places because we are so connected to our land and to the sun and things like that. We're giving loving people, opposite of the things that the Kirk dude would talk about us and things like that. But we've got to come out of our normal thinking process because our open enemy thinks 100% different than the way we do on so many different levels. And just to address the prompt, I believe that that lady there is, or that being there, is part of a bigger plan. She's going to be like their Gaia, you know what I'm saying? Like their queen bee, you know. And I see it happening from all the elements that y'all was talking about a little bit ago, from the pageants and all these things. These people get cultivated, you know, 20 years in advance, 50 years in advance, you know, to fit into the role that the dominant society wants them to be in. And when we have our quote unquote leaders, and stuff like that, that are in bed with the small hats and stuff like that, and the small hats have already said out loud, you know what I'm saying, that our biggest threat is going to be the BLK male, the young BLK male. You know what I'm saying? We've got to put our heads in a different place if we're going to stay a part of the game. And just like, I'm going to land my plane, just like PBT would tell us, you know what I'm saying, when we fight, we win. But we're not going to win nothing if we don't do something. You know what I'm saying? We've got to do something. I also think that part of this fight up to this point has been our lack of engagement when it comes down to these people trying to bait us out of our homes, bait us into big crowds so that we can protest and stuff like that. They are going absolutely ape crap because we have not taken that bait. And that system, that YT supremacist society system, is eating itself because it needs to focus on something, which usually is us. And we haven't been given them the ability to focus on that. I'm going to land my plane. I appreciate you. Love to y'all.
Question though, just when you said our leaders are in bed with small hats, who are you referring to?
Oh, come on, Afro. You know I'm talking about the people that run America. I'm talking about the political figureheads.
The synagogue of
No,
Satan.
not us.
Israel.
Yeah, them. Not us. Not the black media. Not us. All right, I'm gonna land now.
Appreciate that.
He's definitely right.
Drop me so somebody else can get up.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of getting. It's getting real. It's getting real out here. It's getting real.
It's getting real, and
Getting real.
I'm kind of older than this group. I'm looking at you guys. Y'all look a lot younger than me. I'm 50 years old. So, and I you know, at some point in my life, I start to think back when I was growing up. I feel bad because I ain't no feeling about it. I know we feel y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember old heads telling us when I was doing crazy like gangbanging, they were telling us this is how it's gonna be. What's gonna happen? And then it really came to premonition where they was locking people up in massive groups. You know, we had gang chiefs telling us that, and then they went after the gang chiefs and took them into jail, and it got worse. So one thing the brother did just say before, we need to really get together and really start getting on top of it. I personally feel like we need to start showing a little bit more compassion towards each other, more caring towards each other, even in the midst of having disagreements. I'm listening to, you know, some of these other talk shows, and I just see something like when we're talking to each other, it's just so quick to how we get so aggressive with the way we talk. And, you know, a man's talking to a woman and he just goes into bitch this and bitch that. I'm like, man, just the lack of respect, you know, mutual respect that we just seem to just, you know, have for each other. Like, it's like we go overboard when it comes to disrespecting ourselves, but we tend to hold back when it comes to other racial groups. And I mean, we got to be aware of that. I don't know if anybody else recognizes it, but I do.
I definitely recognize it. There's a quote that says, "Destroy the family, destroy the nation." That was from a Marxist leader. And I feel like even sometimes, the hatred that we see amongst Black women and Black men is in part manufactured from an outside source.
Oh, yeah.
People eat it up.
Definitely.
People eat it up.
Major parts.
And
like, that's a fact.
No, it's like a fact. And actually, even Vladimir Putin literally said during the first Trump election that Americans' weakness is our division and that they can exploit that. Well, Black America's weakness is our love for one another. And I know that y'all love us, men. And I know that we love y'all women. I'm not trying to get into a new conversation, but I definitely feel like in this time, especially very much like the speaker before me was saying, we have to close ranks. We got to close ranks. And shout out to Black people. People always say Black people don't never be on the same page and all this type of stuff. But he also was right. We didn't even have to talk about it as a Black community. We not falling for their BS. We are not being goaded by their BS because we collectively are on the same page about that. So I land there.
All right, let's get to Dora.
BX, I like the profile picture change. I just peeped that.
Hello.
You.
Hey man, I just want to say I appreciate what you guys doing. I'm not an American, but I'm a black man. I'm from Haiti. I'm an immigrant, and I used to listen to Charlie Kirk almost every day because I mean I did not agree with him. I think frankly I thought he was the stuff he was saying were like stupid. But one thing I will tell Black American is, and I see a lot of Black conservatives talking about they love Charlie Kirk. You guys should never let a white man talk bad to your people. You know what I'm saying? The best of your people, and he was saying, "Oh yeah, they were giving handouts." You know what I'm saying? Those people study. Those people they work hard, man. Like you guys can't let some white man talking about, "Oh yeah, they were giving handouts." Well, that wasn't true. And one thing I just want to say too, and I feel like a lot of people just think Charlie Kirk was just a podcaster. Charlie Kirk was having private meeting with our president about foreign policies and like those Tucker Carlson actually said that he was having private meeting about our president about laws and stuff like that. Nobody here voted for him, and when they asked him if he wanted to be president, and he was like, "Oh no, what I'm doing is much bigger and more impactful." And the thing is, if he's a friend with Donald Trump and he can call Donald Trump anytime he wants to, and the vice president, why would he just try to become president where he can just talk to these guys and tell them what to do and stuff like that? Like he doesn't have to. He has the power. Like he was like they were close, and that's why they make it seem like it was a president that died and having all that. Oh, we're gonna have a statue and all that. The man was just a podcaster to me, but for them, they feel like he was one of them, like he was part of the government. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's one thing a lot of people don't know about Charlie Kirk is the man had connections, and Turning Point made almost 8 figures last year. You know what I'm saying? So he's why. I mean, shit. Hello?
He was making a lot of money because he was very much so getting connected to the white young youth.
Let's let Dora go ahead. Dora, you done?
Yeah, I mean, I'm almost done. But one thing I just want to say too, man, is like, one thing the DEI thing was, he was wrong and it was stupid because if you do your research, Black people are the least benefited from DEI. But these white supremacists, they always put Black people up front as like we getting handouts from DEI when DEI do not benefit us. It benefits white women. It benefits white LGBTQ. It doesn't benefit us. And he's always saying, "Oh, if I see a Black pilot, if I see a Black person in a high position, I have to question." What that's not even true because the people that's on top, the best of Black people, they have to work hard to be where they at. So he never said, "Oh, if I see a white woman as a pilot, I'm a beg the question, oh, is she qualified?" But when white women are the most benefited from DEI or affirmative action, whatever you want to call it, they were the most benefited. But he never said anything about white people. But he's always talking about Black people, how Black people this and Black people that.
1 minute adult. 1 minute adult. Afro
Right.
Huh?
You know the because
Can I
white
respond to
men
that too?
they do a lot of things, right?
Can everybody not talk at the same time?
How I'm sorry. How
No, I'm done. I'm done.
plausible is it? Because I believe that white tea men know that white tea women benefit the most. They made it that way. A lot of the things that they do is to protect the white tea woman. The same reason why they made our ancestors go to work, our women ancestors in South Carolina go to work, or they would be criminalized because the white tea woman was complaining about her housework or
Hmm.
whatever she was complaining about. So my point to you, Afro, my question rather is white tea men seem to kind of dislike certain stats or don't even acknowledge them. Isn't that plausible when it comes to DEI? Like Charlie Kirk had to know that his woman benefited most from DEI, correct? Because they made
Yeah,
all the laws. Thank you. I thought I was bugging. We know this already, Dora. If you could hurry up and land your plane
he's
so that the
landed.
new
He's
people
landed.
could. Okay, thank you.
He's landed his plane. Let me speak on what you said. I thought what you said was kind of interesting because Charlie wasn't a politician, he wasn't a judge, he wasn't a lawmaker or anything like that. So all of this praise that he's getting and all of these accolades that people are giving him is much, okay, lowering the flags for somebody who was never in any type of political position, never a part of the government or anything like that, never a soldier or anything like that. That's too far. Now, you also did bring up that Charlie did have connections. Okay, Charlie had hundreds of millions of dollars at his disposal, all right, to indoctrinate people. I mean, it takes a lot of money to go on a tour on college campuses to indoctrinate and spread lies and false information of anti-blackness. So I say this to say I feel like I feel like it's a little just not disingenuous, but I feel like it's a naive for us to downplay the harm that Charlie Kirk did, okay, and the damage that Charlie Kirk did. Because Charlie Kirk, even though he did not sign the laws, Charlie Kirk was very influential in a lot of harmful things in the community, and his rhetoric was, which is why I don't like when people are like, well, it's just an opinion, it's just an opinion. No, Charlie Kirk's rhetoric did a lot of damage. Turning Point USA, which is the industry that Charlie Kirk ran, hundreds of millions of dollars, that did a lot of damage, okay? And it put a big target on black people's back. So even though the praise is too much, but we can't dismiss the damage that he's done, because some people be like, oh, well, it's just a matter of opinion, and he had controversial opinions. No, his quote unquote controversial opinions did damage, severe damage. So that was an interesting point that you made.
Yeah. Yeah. But he also, yeah, and I'm.
Hold on, we got to
Go ahead,
get
my
to some of
bad,
the
man.
other speakers.
Go ahead, yeah.
So yeah,
Respond to
we're not
that.
gonna be on too long.
I was gonna say,
Hold on,
okay,
hold
were you finished,
on.
brother?
Yeah, but
I mean,
It's Crystal.
yeah,
I wanted to respond to what you said because when we talk about $100 million, like where could you get that kind of money from? The only people who fork out that kind of money is Assad, is Israel. Where you just get 100 million from a podcast? Like who? When you really think about who is backing him, and then I recently just watched a debate where a young man is young, like I think he's like British, and he's debating Charlie Kirk, and he's taking him on about the G side in Palestine, in Gaza, and he put Charlie to such shame and how he took him on, because he really just called up his humanity, and his response left everybody realizing that he didn't really have that, and I felt like after that point he started shifting his stance on what was going on in Israel, and to me it seems like what's happened is a result of us being really ran by Israel. And if any one of them come up against against Israel, they just take them out. So it's no surprise that this young woman, that we saw her with the performance that she had, hugging all on Trump, doing all of that, and then like not really being remorseful, but fighting Candace Owens to take the lead of the company.
okay,
Like, I don't
it's
know.
true. But let's I want us to understand something, and I think it's important for Black people to understand this. Somebody I study and revere so very much, Dr. Neely Fuller, he said just all problems are solved. All problems are solved with questions and answers. So it's important that we ask questions and we get the answers to the questions. I do think, as of recent dates, due to what Israel has been doing, they have been vilified by society, rightfully so. I also think that now we are having confirmation bias when it comes to Israel being involved in every single thing. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, Charlie Kirk was saying some things about Trump as well too. Charlie Kirk was also questioning the Epstein files as well too.
Yeah.
So we have confirmation bias where like everything we're like reaching to try to find and tie everything to Israel. And Israel is not the only villain. Let's be honest. Israel has not done anything that America, the Anglo-Saxons in America, has not done. Folks drop nukes on people, they've enslaved people. Let's be honest. These are all villains. All of them are. You know what I'm
Same thing.
But
so,
brother, did you
and I'm
hear
not
my
saying we
comment?
shouldn't question them, but
Right.
they're not more villainous than the Americas that we already know.
I wouldn't
I
argue
agree.
ever that they are. I think that they one and the same. There is no America without Israel. Because aren't we the ones who allowed them to steal a whole legacy of people that look like us from Israel in the first place?
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that why they call them Jewish?
that's
I
right.
mean,
That issue is important.
their issue's
That's right.
important. So I think
That's
they
right.
both get to hold the bag on this one.
Yeah.
I mean, we try to put these people in different categories and say that white tea Americans are not Jewish white tea people. They're the same people. They run the same agenda everywhere they go. They take, they destroy, you get in their way, they kill,
Pew
they
pew.
murder,
Murder.
and if they can't control you, they'll get rid of you. It's just that simple. It's the same narrative for every white tea country in this world. And if you disagree with me, prove it. From Australia to Russia to Europe to Britain to America and Israel, it's the same playbook everywhere. And that's what we need to understand. We need to treat them accordingly because they're all the same people and they act the same way. But we keep
Hold on.
saying, no, these guys aren't that bad. No, they're different. No, they're the same people.
Yeah.
They're the same people.
We're gonna be real quick. We gotta wrap. Make sure we get to everybody. Let me bring this one last person up. Gonna get to everybody real quick. I think everybody's kind of already given a stance. We're gonna get to Adult Swim real fast, and then Rael, and then we'll kind of wrap things up there. It's kind of getting late.
Oh, I already talked.
Okay, well we'll get to Rael then.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Well, good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm gonna be honest, bro. With everything going on, bro, I try to tell people this is just my opinion. I think, yo, it's just a complete world stage, bro. I think, yo, people just gotta try not to get deceived because there's just a lot of hands involved in a lot of shit. Because I live in New York, and right now they got all these prime ministers in the UN right now. So, like I said, bro, you just gotta be focused and pay attention. Like people are so caught up with, stupid shit when actuality, bro, like there's a lot of stuff that's going on, 2030 that's approaching. And yo, bro, it's like you got Palantir. They just signed up a lot of contracts right now with Boeing. Palantir is like one of the biggest companies out right now as far as surveillance. And yo, bro, like people don't realize what's really about to approach America, bro. Like we about to see martial law, bro. You feel me? Like, and not to put fear on anybody, but yo, I'm just being real. Like, y'all think y'all seen some crazy shit? Y'all haven't seen nothing yet. Real talk. Like, you see what's going on in Palestine? Imagine you seeing that here every day. You see, we're not prepared for that because it's like out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm saying? That's why, you know, I don't know, bro. Like, we have to reprogram our minds, bro. Everything we learned in school, it's like that's why I thank God for TikTok because now we're starting to get a lot of information that we wasn't taught in school, you know?
Can you
It's
land
good
there
to
for
have
a minute? Can you land there? You're Haitian descent, correct?
yes.
Okay, so Black Americans have lived through over 60 incidents when they ran up on our land, in our communities. Lake Lanier and Tulsa, Oklahoma aren't the only instances of them declaring war on our communities. And that's why you're getting some resistance if you're reading the comments saying, we're not scared, we're not scared. Because we underwent all of that on our land, even in New York, right? So that's why when you say we might see that here or we're not prepared, we are actually prepared.
But let me
We
ask you.
actually are.
But let me ask you a question. You know how many Black Americans I come across when I ask them, "Yo, do you own a firearm? Like, do you believe in concealed
You're in New
carry?"
York. You're in
No,
New
no,
York,
no, no.
correct?
But listen, I've had a lot of them tell me they don't believe in concealed
Okay,
carry.
mute there, stop there. Are these people in New York that you're asking that question?
It's not just in New York.
No, no.
I've gone to
Okay.
Philly. I've gone to Philly. I've gone to DC. I've been in numerous places.
Okay,
We
pause
got
there,
guns in
pause there,
DC. You
pause
tripping?
there. What I'm gonna say this.
We
Okay,
got
so
guns, man. You
so in
tripping?
New York, since you're from New York, because of the New York Slavery Vote of 1712, that's why we have strict gun laws, and you can look that up. That's
No,
why
no,
Black
I know.
Americans
I know
can't hold
all of
on,
that.
can't congregate in certain places. However, because I also have a connection not to only the enslaved from New York and New Jersey, I also have them to the South where they're strategists who believe in pew pews. So they tell me how to get from New York to certain places that have the pew pews. So I ain't scared. You get it? And the
But I
reason why
never.
we don't own or Black Americans, if they're really Black Americans, because let's be for real, there's a lot of cosplaying in the North,
So,
specifically New York.
so, Miss, let me ask
So
you a
if they're
question.
really
Why? No, no, let me ask you a question. Why do you guys get so triggered when y'all automatically say, "Oh, yo, you're a Haitian descent"? No,
no, I didn't
no,
get
no, no, because
triggered.
I
I
noticed
asked
that.
you a
No, 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 no.
question.
You did get triggered. You did.
No, she
You
didn't.
did.
Actually,
I heard it from your body language. You did.
First off, you
You
didn't say
did.
body
you were
language.
Haitian.
What
You
the
didn't
Hold
say
hell?
that.
on.
She brought that up, and
My
she
body
brought that
language.
up to bring into context. And this is why we asked, because it brings into context, because people from a different background who have a different family and a different history, you have a different perspective on issues.
But Afro, where did I ever say when I said people are afraid? Did I ever say Black Americans? I said
No,
people.
what you're saying is like,
So
oh,
that is
we
getting triggered, though.
what you
Hold
said,
on, hold
what
on.
you
Nah.
said is that there has been, we're about to experience something we're not ready for
Yes,
and
that's
that we haven't
everybody.
seen
It's not just
before.
one specific
That's
group.
what you're saying. What BX is saying is that it's different for you to say that because you don't have the historical ties to this country to understand that we've already survived those things.
But once again, what I'm saying is I'm not saying it's just one specific group. It's everybody. It's just like when they threw out COVID, it wasn't just one specific
But you
group.
was
You
just
gotta
speaking
close
about
that
Black
word.
Americans, though. You said there's so many Black Americans in DC, Philly, New York that don't believe in having
No, no, no.
concealed weapons.
And
You
No,
talking
no.
even
about Black
though
Americans?
even though you're not talking about one specific group, what I think that the people are trying to make the point is one specific group, Black Americans are prepared. One specific group has gone through this for centuries. One specific group knows the agenda. So that's the difference. Maybe everyone is going to be scared, but Black Americans are parents, our grandparents, our great grandparents, our great great grandparents. We have dealt with this type of terror the entire time.
Right. And so we're not going to deflect and call me triggered when I was bringing context to it. I'm reading the chat. Hold on. I'm reading the chat. They're getting, we're not scared. Like, so I'm telling you, we're not scared. And I'm telling you what the chat is relaying to you. And I'm telling you why.
Okay,
That's
so
what
let
I'm
me.
telling you. So
No,
it
no,
wasn't a
okay.
matter of being triggered. It was clarifying your ethnic group and showing the
But
difference. And
but
you are of Haitian descent than me, a Black
you know what's
American.
funny? I'm reading the comments too, and I'm seeing Black Americans saying that, "Oh, if I'm scared to go back to Haiti, though." Whoever said that? I was born here. You see,
It
so
doesn't matter. You're a citizen, but you're not a Black American like we are. Your people didn't undergo what we went through. It's in our genes, certain things. It's in our DNA. It's in our spirituality. That's how we lasted so long on our land, and we don't have to migrate out and displace other
so
people
so my
of the
people.
land. I don't care that you were
Yo,
born here. You're not a Black American. You're a Haitian
oh
American.
man, that's crazy, bro. See,
Yeah, I don't care.
this is why I say, bro, Black people will never be on the same page, bro.
Well, now you're not Black, right? You're Haitian.
There you
You're
go.
of
There you go.
Haitian descent.
Triggered.
Same play
Black
every time, bro.
people, black people,
Triggered.
black Americans are fine. It's the Haitians getting beat at the border. It's the Haitians fighting for TPS
Triggered.
when the homeland looks like it's in shambles. Like, go back to Haiti. Don't tell us what's going to
You
happen
see?
here. Go back
Triggered.
there
Okay,
and
listen.
Never
fight
dis-
Okay,
for
we're gonna.
Haiti.
Well, hold on. We're gonna
never
pause,
Go
everybody.
fight
disrespect.
for
We're
Haiti.
gonna
We don't need
pause.
your advice.
It's too much. This is
You
too
see?
much for this,
Afro.
dude.
Did I ever
Let me tell you
disrespect it, though,
something.
bro?
Okay,
No,
here's
I'm
the
asking a
thing.
question. Did I?
Here, stop, everybody.
You see? You guys
Stop,
aren't being
dude.
fair.
No. Nobody is upset.
We're gonna let him recollect.
Right,
Nobody is
right.
Reel it in.
upset.
When he
Nobody
come back
is
up.
triggered. Nobody is being bothered or anything like that. The thing of the matter is that when people come up from different backgrounds, your background is important because your background is going to determine the people who raised you, the community that you come from. That is going to determine your perspective on certain things. When you grow up either hearing stories or not hearing stories, this is just the reality of the situation. That's going to determine how you perceive certain events. So you're perceiving these events going on globally as something that we're unprepared for and unready for and haven't dealt with before. That's exactly what he came up here and said, that we're going to deal with something that we've never seen before, and we're not ready for this before. And what we're saying is, okay, well, you're saying that because you don't know our history as of already surviving these incidents. We've already survived and overcame these incidents. And then you try to gaslight by making it seem like we were triggered by your Haitian lineage. We have people who spoke on here who have not been of FBA lineage, and it is what it is.
We're not even on that type
It
of
is
time.
what it is. This conversation wasn't even about that.
Right. Literally. Right.
Host, can I ask a question? When the sister was telling him like we weren't never scared, I had the background. I like literally literally in Pentagon City. I literally live 800 feet from the Pentagon. I don't know. I I don't know why people think that we can't handle, like we're not big people. We're gonna panic. I don't see a lot of black people panicking right now. I
Yeah.
don't know about y'all and in any of y'all circles, but I don't see it.
And that's the thing, most foundational black Americans have been actually very chill this whole year.
Stoic. For real.
Uh, there's been protests left and right, whether that's ICE, whether that's Gaza, whether that's this, whether that's that, and everybody's literally asking for our attendance. They're asking us, "Hey man, where y'all at? Y'all normally here?" And we like, "No, you know, they ain't our business." You know what I'm saying? We've been chill. Everybody else has been sitting up there panicking, there's been so many damn protests left and right, and we've been chilling. We've been at the house, we've been handling our business. That's what we've been doing. So for you to come up here and be like, guys, the apocalypse is coming, we like, are you sure?
Yeah. But he wouldn't understand. But of course, oh God, they always do it to themselves because you know he couldn't leave out of here without saying, "But we all black." What you mean? I'm Haitian. They talk about I'm not Haitian. I'm Haitian in the comments. I don't know, but we all black. They always. That's all you wanted to say. You don't like the FBA. That's what you're here for. He must have seen one of the lives and didn't get a chance to speak one time because he only wanted to come here to get that off. That was his only intention.
ZZ, I think they need to write a passage. I think it's a couple books that they must read, like the autobiography of Frederick Douglass, Caste System by Isabel Wilkerson, because she talks all about this. You literally come here and you must hate on black people because that's how you assimilate into white culture. That's how you get accepted into white culture. Period. You gotta hate us. It's literally in the whole book.
Yeah, well, we can wrap things up right here. But does anybody actually, let me see.
Oh, hold up. You know what? Let me say this right quick too, because I actually meant to, just relating to the topic.
Yeah,
And I don't know if anybody
have
mentioned
any
it.
final statements on the topic.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna let everybody else do this first, but let me say this just to add on. Maybe it'll add on to my final statement. But look, I don't know if anybody mentioned this before I got on, but y'all know YT women are hella shisty. These women are some of the most manipulative, conniving women in the book. Like, look out here. Quite literally, Hold on, let me get it off. These women are patient in their manipulation. They will wait. There are stories about YT women offing their husbands for years, slowly offing these people, and then turn around and get an insurance check, or turn around and do like this is a more common than what they like to admit to. This happens very more often than what they like to admit. These women are very sneaky, very
It's a
naturally.
death
It's
cult.
in their nature to be like that naturally, but they've evolved to this point where they know how to manipulate this system so much in their favor that they have seriously gotten away with shit like this. If she did have anything with her husband being off,
Yeah,
they've gotten away with shit like that for
definitely
years.
allegedly.
So allegedly, speculation. But all I'm saying is, for a white T woman, this is like this is like in page 1 of Karen 101. They know how to finesse, and they know how to get a bag, and they will wait patiently for that bag, even if they gotta sacrifice somebody to get there. So hey, I don't put nothing past it. I just want to throw it in there, but we can wrap it up.
Just notice when stuff like this. That's first off. Let's be honest. Like, it's a cultural thing with them.
Right?
Let's be honest. It's a cultural thing. Sometimes it be the wife doing it to the husband. It be the kids doing it to the parents.
Right?
It's a culture thing.
Literally.
And notice 9 times out of 10 they wait until their ducks are in a row. You know what I'm saying? They wait until they're on the will, or they got the inheritance and everything like that. And then, oh, there goes mom, there goes dad. Oh well, I guess I got the house now. It just seems kind of funny that it, like, all of Charlie Kirk's things just fell. I mean, maybe he already had that stuff ready for her, but it seems like she was able to prepare a huge spectacle memorial in like a week. That's some quick timing for a grieving widow. Okay.
I mean, even that picture, that shit looked like a commercial or something. She looked like she the president's wife when that motherfucker or something.
More like an inauguration.
Yeah.
To me, I'm not allegedly. I'm
allegedly.
Really in a row, real quick.
Come on, we can't trust them kids because Karens are good at they will cry over a broken toenail. They don't. It's like it's in their playbook. So I'm like, I mean, literally, I don't put none. These women, just as overtly wicked their men are, is how covertly wicked their women are. They're yin and yang. Okay, so yeah, I don't trust them.
Let me just say, you are absolutely right that white tea women will cry on a dime, and that is what makes Erica Kirk so sus, is because she could barely even muster the very typical fake white tears. She could not even muster the tears that they have mastered so well. She was not doing a good acting job.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. A lot of people asking questions. That's all we doing here.
Look suspect.
Really important questions.
I want to be on the record having brought up the fact that she was kicked out of Romania for her nonprofit called what was it, Angels, like Romania's Angels. All them kids came up missing. I just want to be on the record having put that out there, because to me, that's what stops me. How you kick out of a whole country from kids missing?
Yeah, that's insane. I'm not gonna lie. That's giving like she might have been
her hands ain't never been clean. Let's be honest. Her hands ain't never been clean.
She could be an agent. I mean, the brother that was speaking that was saying that they prepare these people 20, 40 years in hand. I'm like, honestly, we don't know if she came out of a government cell, a damn laboratory. We don't know who her parents are, who she's connected to, because you know all these people be connected. You know what I'm saying? So was she handpicked for Charlie Kirk? So, all of them, they look questions, because that's hella suspect. Getting paid from a country is crazy. That's insane.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat room is upset, and he says, "Let me the F up."
Oh
no, that's it. No, not gonna do it. No. I don't know who you think you talking to. No.
Think about a demand to come up this joint.
I swear to God, I don't know who you was talking to. Let me out there. No.
I pass.
Actually, how about you get blocked? How about that? Actually, how about we do a...
No, though. Look at how he said no.
I did. How about that? You don't even got to worry about it no more. But yeah, let's see. Anybody got any you got like a good 30 seconds. Anybody got it? How all these YT people coming up now? That means it's our time to leave. Okay.
The trolls coming out. No
Yeah.
bad.
Okay. Anybody got any final 10-second, 20-second thoughts to speak on allegedly? Okay.
Yes, sir.
No
I'll
takers,
never
that's fine.
pass up an opportunity to enlighten my people and to bring us up. But I will say about this young lady and what's coming out
You're
of this
muted.
whole camp.
You're muffled.
What's coming out of this whole camp is it's quite interesting. And I'm curious to see how they're gonna spin the theatrics, the whole conversation around Romania. I'm interested to see how her and Trump's relationship evolves at this point. Because obviously he knew her when she was a teen, and the way that he was hugging her was kind of like daddy's home, somebody said. I'm totally going with that. Look, I'm not going to run from any conversation around white tea women and their tears and how they will step over their own people just to get where they at. And right now, he ain't around, and she is right there stepping all over Candace Owens for that position. Uninvited her to the whole funeral. We watching, and I'm curious to see how white tea is gonna swing their way out of this.
Oh, that might have to be another conversation because Candace has kind of switched her stance a little bit. Candace is saying that it might be an inside job.
Candace is saying Israel.
Candace Owens is stop blaming Israel. Candace Owens is kind of looking at Erica sideways now, but that might need to be another conversation because the rabbit hole might get real deep then.
But then that goes back to your boy Trump, though.
It could. You know what I'm saying? It could.
Allegedly, respectfully.
Mm-hmm. Allegedly, of course. Allegedly, we don't know what we don't know. And the thing is that you got to take everything Candace says with a grain of salt because she be so wishy-washy on certain things. It's them, it's him. You know, we was just talking about her being a grifter, so she goes with the wind. So you know, we can't take anything she says too seriously. But we do know what we see.
She got that tape though. She had people from Turning Point got that tape of that pew pewing as right after it was happening. Candace got her hands on that tape. Those are her people. So she's got some insight that a lot of us don't have because they have that footage. And now they're asking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, could be. I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm not saying she's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying just take it with a grain of salt, though.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. Because she swore up and down it was Israel a week ago. Now she's not saying that. Now she's saying it's somebody else. So just take everything with a grain of salt.
Okay.
Yeah. Final thoughts. Candace Owens. I'm sorry. You want to go ahead, Dor?
Hey, one last thing, man, about the Erica thing. Look, man, she not gonna do nothing. Like she gonna get a new man. She got generational wealth. She ain't gonna do nothing. She's scared now, man. That channel's gonna die. That Turning Point is gonna die, bro. She not gonna do nothing. They had a 2-hour meeting. Megyn Kelly was there. She wasn't there, and she's supposed to be the new CEO. She's out, bro. That channel gonna die in like give it like 2-3 months. That channel's gonna die, bro.
Oh, we're making money. Somebody's gonna take
a little bit longer.
If somebody's gonna buy that channel,
somebody's gonna be trying to make money off it.
Yeah, she got money thrown at her right now, bro. Like she's scared. She's not gonna come out, and she's worse than Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk said she's worse. Charlie Kirk said, "Oh, I'm a moderate." She's far right, bro. If she comes out and starts saying stupid shit, she better be careful. Cause, bro, I'm telling you, man, she's scared. That channel's gonna die. They're gonna sell the channel. They're gonna sell everything. She gonna get a new boyfriend. And she gonna move on, bro. That dude died. He died. I'm talking about, all that I'm Charlie Kirk thing, like that, all that shit gonna die, bro. Trust me, bro.
Well, I think that is another tactic.
Regardless of that, we have to be prepared if it doesn't.
Exactly.
It might be, but we got to be prepared if it doesn't.
But you're absolutely right. That is the your background, Miss Liam. That is the behavior, the historical behaviors of YT women. The Karens, yeah, she probably will get remarried. I wouldn't be surprised. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was to an older man, who was still in the political realm, still of some sort of a high stature or value. I mean, social status, like Charlie Kirk, or better, or more than Charlie Kirk. So, or CK. So, yeah, I mean, that's just within they're not going to be alone, especially if that money dry out. She's going to find another place to get it. That's for sure. Another white Cincinnati to get it from.
Can I ask y'all a question, host and ZZ? Are y'all ever gonna do a show on how whenever the Republicans come to town, the gay sites crash?
The what crashes?
Is it like the gay sites, like Tinder and all those? They crash.
They crashed today.
No, anytime there's a convention with Republicans, the GOP, like what was going on in Utah, the gay sites crash.
What?
Yes, like it's this whole conversation that's going around. I'm wondering if y'all gonna like pick that topic up.
We'll look into that.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, but remember they're like anti-gay, they're anti-trans, they're all these. But how is it whenever they come to town? Even when they came to DC.
Oh, you said it was like being used. Oh,
yes,
man, that motherfucker be gay as hell. I ain't surprised by that. Hell to the nah. That's in their
but
culture
I
too.
wonder if there's some relation to them holding their sexuality with like suppressing their sexuality and violence.
Absolutely.
Like, is there a correlation?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's a part of bug breaking, to be honest.
We gonna say this, and we got to be very PG for TikTok's sake.
Yeah.
Very PG for TikTok's sake. There have been multiple physical incidents and intimate incidents at Turning Point USA events. Because Turning Point USA events, they would have a thing where they would invite speakers there, and they would have hotel floors rented out. You can rent out a hotel floor and then have all of your speakers there and stuff like that on the same floor or in the same hotel. And people have saying that there have been group activities at these events. You know what I'm saying?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Man, them people are sexual.
He ain't the only one buying baby oil. What we hearing? You know what I'm saying?
I'm like, I ain't never heard that, but they don't surprise me. That's white tea supremacist culture, honestly. They are freaky as hell. They look gorgeous. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, for real, I wouldn't be surprised. The people would deny it.
All right, but you were giving your closing thoughts?
Yes, closing thoughts. Yeah, I'm sorry. I still feel the same way. I ain't got no empathy or sympathy for this lady. I definitely got the 10-4 bonnet on. I think she might have something to do with it, or something to do with the ritual, or something to do with something. She has a very suspicious background. I do think they're going to use her in the near future for something, because just that imagery, I mean, the picture you chose, that right there just feels like that was like a grand introduction more so than a grand goodbye, okay? A grand memorial. So I think that was an introduction for her. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see her, and I don't think that she'll take the same route as CK. I think she's going to go more of like the trad femme route, like housewife, maybe do a book, do a podcast, like something, you know what I'm saying? Like something like that, but I don't think it's going to be the exact same thing as CK or Candace Owens type vibe. But I don't think she's to be trusted for sure. It's too many questions surrounding her identity alone, but let alone the stuff, everything that's happened post CK death. So, or in unaliving. So, yeah, suspicious baby to say the least. She's a Karen. We don't trust her. It is what it is.
Let's be honest. She might not be the reincarnation of him where she's at college campuses or whatever the case is, but that doesn't mean that Turning Point USA is going to stop.
Right, that part, yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be her, but I don't mean the whole programs are going to stop.
Oh no, they're going to find somebody
else. You got Trump and JD Vance talking about they're going to help to push it forward and all of that stuff. So we don't know. Could it be that CK and Trump wanted to go in two different directions with it, or something like that? Is Turning Point going to be an indoctrination into politics? We don't know. I mean, we just need to ask questions. We need to ask questions. I just personally think that her response was odd. I'm not alleging anything. She might have been involved. She might not have been involved. She might not have been involved, but maybe knew it was going to happen. She might have got that call like, hey, you know,
Could have been warned.
it's his time. Just get ready for it. We don't know nothing. These people are very devious. We don't know.
Mhm.
But what we do know is that y'all need to be following For the Culture on YouTube. That's what we do.
Absolutely. We do know an episode drops this Sunday.
That's one thing we do know for.
We do know.
And go to For the Culture on YouTube. That's where you can listen to the playback of this. All right. You can listen to the playback of all of our live streams, all of everything we do. Everything we do is so great, so grand, so informative, so powerful. Y'all can follow us so that way y'all don't miss out on anything, anytime we go live, so you can join the conversation. So thank you for that. Thank you for that. For the Culture YouTube. Go there right now. BX, can you please close us out? Thank you.
This was a good little live. Well, not little, but it was a good live. So here's my thing. It's not about being triggered when somebody tells us who they are. It's more so making the clarity and distinction, and then stopping the diminishment a word of our history. We have so many towns that was attacked by people. So when you say we've never seen something like this before, you're not us, sir. We descend from the ones who've been through it. I personally descend from a ghost town due to racial violence. So I mean, you got to be careful when you're in certain spaces trying to speak as if you're a Black American and you're not. And that's why we say our history on this land is different than your history here. And this is why you can't be a Black American if you don't have ties to the United States of America during a certain time period, our emancipation era. So I was just making a clarity on there, and he tried to deflect as to me being triggered. I don't like when New York immigrants come up here and act like we're so unified or we're so down for each other. That's far from the case. They undermine us here, but that's a topic for another time. Afro, when will you go live again on TikTok?
I'm gonna get back with you on that. I'm not for certain. You know, I'm gonna get back with you. I'm not gonna be able to do it tomorrow or Sunday. Yeah, I'll get back with you on that. Monday at the latest. Say that.
No problem. Yeah, take the week off, get some rest, catch up on some work. That's what I'm gonna be doing. But if you change your mind and say, "Hey, BX, let's go live," I'll make myself available. And Crystal, it's 4, FOR, not the number 4. So the first part of your comment is correct.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great show, ZZ. Everybody loves your hair, your puff there. And so I want to say, you're welcome. Peace, love, and light, and reparations to my foundational Black Americans. I love us for real.
Peace. Be one.
Be one.